Today I'm going to show you guys how to make an oil catch can for cheap on your 2005 Subaru WRX. So here are the materials I got. This is an aluminum spray bottle that I got from the dollar store for $1. You could also get one of those aluminum like camping water bottles. Those tend to be around, you can get them for like $6, or you might be able to find them used somewhere. Those will be better, but I just found this for cheap. It's aluminum. Then I have these two fittings that screw together. These will slide over the threads on this. These were each $1. And then some of these hose barbs. If the plastic ends up not working, I'll get them in brass. But these are 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch. The hose size is going to be the 1/2 inch. So, this is what's going to be the material inside of the catch can to catch the vapors. It is a stainless steel scrubber pads or scourers. The stainless steel should not react with the aluminum or the plastic, which is important so you don't get any weird oxidation getting into your engine. So this is going to sit like this. I'm going to like glue this on here, JB Weld something, but it seals off pretty nicely. So this is going to be on the bottom. This unscrews so I can drain it, and I'm just going to tap the two little fittings on the top here. I drilled two 1/2 inch holes in the top, and went ahead and wire brushed it down, and I'm going to try and thread these fittings in the top. So here it is so far. I'm going to take off this bottom thing, and all the shavings are going to fall out of the bottom. Look at all those shavings. Make sure you clean out this can really thoroughly so you know those get in your engine. I used some blue RTV I had laying around to really seal this thing off. You can check by plugging two of the holes with your fingers and blowing through the other one and see if you can pull a vacuum and create pressure without it getting any outside air in there. Well, while I'm waiting for this to set up, I'm going to go ahead and fill the inside with this stainless steel scour pads. So I got this nice and stretched out, and I'm going to cram it inside this bottle, making sure it goes all the way up to the end. Probably hard for you guys to see. My phone's dying, so it won't let me use the flash, but it's pushed all the way up to there. This is with one scrubber, sold up to about there. So I took another one and I cut it in half, and it should take 1.5. These things come in a pack of three in this pack, which is enough to do both cans that I'm going to be making for a price of $1. So now I've filled it all the way to the end, and this is ready to go in the car once this dries all the way. So here it is, all sealed off. It's airtight right now. When I pull a suction on this or put pressure in here, it holds it. So now we're going to find a place to put this in the engine bay. Right in here. It sits just about perfect right there. I'll throw a little zip tie around it, keep it from moving. We'll run the hoses up and out. So in the engine bay of your EJ20 on your 2005 WRX, you'll see these pipes that can join to one. These are your crankcase vents, and so each one of these sides, that one and that one, go to the valve covers on the sides of the engine. Those come together so that they can equalize pressure, and they are teed off, and this goes to the intake after the MAF but before the turbo, so there's no pressurized air. So this has constant vacuum. Connects right there. Mine's cracked, a lot of them will be. So basically what we're going to do is this section right here, we're going to intercept it and put our catch can right there so that the oil fumes coming out of the crankcase, instead of getting sucked right into there and then into the turbo and into the engine, making everything dirty, they're going to go to an oil catch can. The oil is going to get separated out, and then it's going to come back out clean. Mine was actually kind of easy to get off because this does have oil traveling through it, so it is kind of well lubricated. Be careful with this pipe because these things get brittle, and you can see one of my fittings is already cracked off. These are plastic, but this part is metal, so you're more comfortable with that. Right there, there's a big old crack. Focus, come on. There's a big crack in mine, which I think was creating a vacuum leak, making my car not run as smooth as it could have. So this old hose is super brittle, like this is hard as a rock. I'm using some new, it's a 12mm or 1/2 inch hose. It needs to be fuel and oil safe because sometimes fuel gets through that oil. I got 10 feet because I'm replacing the hose that goes to the valve covers for both sides and the one that goes to the intake tube. So I ended up having to use an adapter hose. This is a bigger hose I had laying around off of another car project, and it actually slipped right over this end and brought it up here, and then my new hose will fit inside of that. It's okay on this if you go up a size in hose. Like if you get this, so this is going to be the smallest diameter, and that's the same as stock. So you don't want it any less than that because it doesn't flow enough. So you guys can't see because I still can't use my flash, but I use that. I'm going to use that as an adapter. This hose is going to go inside there, and it's going to run over the catch can, and then that'll fit on there. The reason I had to use an adapter is, as you can see, this is the end that goes to the intake. See the size of that? And this is the end that goes onto the metal pipe. The small end is like a 12 millimeter or like a ½ inch, but this is more like 5/8 of an inch, maybe like a 14 millimeter, something like that. I couldn't get my hose to stretch over it, so keep that in mind, that you might have to size down like that. I didn't have quite as much clearance as I thought I would have over in that corner, so I ended up putting the can right down here next to the radiator. We got plenty of room, running the lines up into the intake and to the valve covers. So that's the catch can right there. With an oil catch can setup, you will have to drain the oil. I recommend probably every oil change or twice an oil change. Check your oil level in your catch can and make sure that it doesn't run too full. This has been how to make and install an oil catch can on a 2005 Subaru Impreza WRX. I hope this helped you guys trying to make your own oil catch cans at home. You can do it for cheap and it's still pretty good. I am going to put a second oil catch can on this car just because it has two paths for oil to get into the intake. So stay tuned for one of those videos. And I'll check in with you guys in about a couple thousand miles. We'll see how much oil this thing caught. Thanks for watching.